Welcome to Subramani. Many people wanted to know some financial rules to live by, and so I thought here it is. So, some non financial also is one. Teach your children to do a lot of things with their own hands. There's no point in them saying, my children know nothing, my husband knows nothing, my wife knows nothing. Very common for people to say, oh, my children are so pampered that they can't make a meal. When they go and live on their own, especially if they are living in a different city and if they're living in a different country, they get so exposed and they feel so shameful that they can't cook up a simple meal. And it gets very expensive to eat out, and it gets very boring to eat the same masala day in and day out. So some of these basics also I may not include, but yeah, here. Don't argue too much about money in the presence of your children, because children carry those impressions for life, because then they will think money is the root cause of all problems between my parents, and that may not be true, right? So it may have been true, may not have been true. Explain to children that money is also very emotional. So if you and your wife or if your parents fight about money, or if your parents are fighting about money, you need to go do a control or delete and realize money is just a commodity. Don't get too emotional about it. Point number one, perhaps be avoid debt. Debt can ruin many families, and largely people get into debt because they cannot postpone some expense that they want to incur, whether it is to buy a house, whether to buy a car or a camera or iPhone. Doesn't really matter. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it, and if you can't afford it now, you can't afford it now. Wait for the markets to improve, wait for the markets to go up, wait for the markets to go down. Whatever you have to do, control yourself. Don't get into debt and not be able to manage it. That's the biggest problem of most families. And in the US, it's the cause of all divorces also. All the divorces, when they're analyzed, 70% lead to financial problems, and out of that maybe 70-80% leads to excessive borrowing and spending, right? In India, you think it's not such a pandemic, but it is. Why am I putting it on top? Because it is. A lot of youngsters have too much borrowing, and once in a while a father or a grandfather comes and pays it off. But yes, a lot of 35-year-olds have not developed the habit of investing and regularly saving. They don't have insurance, but they have too much debt. It's also important to build credit, which means you have to have a credit card, you incur expenses, and you pay on time. So having a credit card is important, but that does not mean that you should be forced to borrow money and keep the debt. Use the credit card, but don't use the credit facility of the credit card. That's what I'm trying to say. Why am I starting with the credit card? Because largely I'm a wealth guy. I don't talk about credit, but I realize when I see younger portfolios that people are losing money terribly due to the interest that they're paying banks, right? Maybe there's a reason why banks are getting so profitable. Remember one more thing, income is not net worth. Income is not saving. People think when their income is higher, they will save, but they just keep postponing. Having income is good. Having a good company which pays for a lot of your travel and stay in good hotels, 4-star, 5-star is fantastic. But you will be judged by yourself, by your family, by your wife, on the basis of the net worth, which means how much money have you earned, how much money have you saved, how intelligently have you invested. That builds your net worth. The most important thing in your life is going to be your net worth, financially speaking. I'm not saying that it's more important than relationships. Obviously, relationships are more important, but when it comes to money, it is not your income which matters. It is your income minus your expenses, or income minus saving which you spend, and how well you convert that saving into investing. Now I'm going to say something little controversial. Saving is more important than investing, simply because saving is a habit. If you earn 100 rupees and you can save 90, or you can save 10. If you're staying with your parents and your parents pay for literally for everything, then your expense is going to be very close to zero, right? Which means you can save almost 100% of what you earn, and that's a fantastic way to save. However, converting that saving into investing is a completely different matter. The first thing is to save well. That is a greater skill that is required. Once you do that, you can find somebody with whom you sit and learn how to invest and then start investing. But yes, very important that saving is important. You should be able to go and tell an advisor, look, I have saved 50,000 rupees, I have saved 1 lakh, now where do I invest? Rather than saying, oh, how do I start saving? No financial planner can help you how to save money. It is up to you. You have to decide the fact that you want to save. You want to save because you want to save for a future goal, right? No financial planner will be able to tell you how you should save more. Of course, we can all write articles saying don't drink coffee outside, make it at home and all those things, but that's going to be very small. The voice has to come from internal, that you feel that you should, out of the 100 rupees that you're earning, you want to save 70, you want to save 60, you want to save 50, whatever it be. That voice has to come from inside. It has to come from your upbringing, from your parentage. And somebody would have told you, oh, you're spending too much, right? I'm not getting into all that moralistic thing about what you're spending, but learning how to save is a very, very important step in the journey towards creating wealth. When I say wealth, I mean getting into, say, 2-digit crores, or perhaps if you're very lucky, even into 3-digit crores. How do you do that? Of course, by investing. But the first step for investing is, after getting educated well, you start earning well and you start saving well. This is true for 99% of commoners, right? I'm not talking of a Virat Kohli or a Sachin Tendulkar. I'm talking of the common man who's got a decent MBA or a CA or a doctor's degree and is starting to earn money. He's 27, 28, 32, depending on which profession. And so the most important thing is saving. Saving is more important than investing. Investing also you have to learn, but saving is step 1. If you can't save, you can't reach that investment. Investment would be step 2. Learn the step 1. That is, are you able to put together a lot of money away from your income, right? And don't track your income, track your net worth. And when people say live within your means, I would say live well below your means. Punch much below your weight class, right? That's what I would have said in the boxing language. It does not mean that every time you get an increase in salary, or you think you're going to get an increase in salary, you should increase your spending. You can earn 100 rupees and spend 10. You can earn 150 rupees and spend 11. You need not spend 15, right? I'm saying as a proportion, your expenses should not go up as much as the increment. So your salary went up from 100 to 110. Your saving should go up from 70 to 80. It is as simple as that. The total new money should be saved. You do not need to increase your expenses. Yes, of course, live well. Live decently well, take your vacations, have fun, enjoy your hobbies, but at the same time, it does not mean you need to blow money, right? I mean, it does not. I'm very simple. You need to save enough for your own goals, right? You have to save enough money for your own goals. You don't have to save money for my goals. I have done it, right? Track where you're spending your money on a regular basis. Write down your expenses. When I say write down, I don't mean take a book and take a pen and pencil. You can do that, but otherwise you can use an Excel sheet, or there are enough apps today which will track your expenses. So track your expenses. It will tell you where you're spending and what you can do to control it. As far as possible, automate your telephone bills, your electricity bills, your gas bills, everything, your term insurance, everything should be automated. Your SIP will anyway be automated. So if everything is automated, it will happen. It will not require your intervention. You will not say, oh, this month my sister is getting married, this month my friend is getting married, so I need to go, so I can't invest. That will not happen. On the 1st of the month or 2nd of the month or on the due date, the exact amounts will get deducted. Leave some money as a cushion, but the more you automate, the easier it is and the better it is. I suddenly pick up a document and I find that last 4 months some SIP has gone and it's got built, right? It just becomes a good habit. So keep doing that. You also have to get your big purchases right.